So, you want to get your first Brazilian done. Congratulations. Welcome to womanhood. Or if you're a guy, I don't know why you're here. Now you may call me a expert of some sorts. I'm licensed in the state of Colorado, so I kind of know what I'm doing. I mostly do skincare, but I also do waxing on the side. I'm here to teach you the ways of getting ready for your first ever waxing. Now, this video was inspired by me watching and being recommended, don't know why, some videos on the internet of girls doing their first bikini, as in explaining it to others, as in they would take their phone, go get waxed, and record their first ever bikini waxing. And by watching some of these videos, they seemed terrifying. I was like, are people seriously watching these? Are people seriously getting the information from these videos? Really? As a person who waxes? Let me just jump into the bikini waxing and how to prepare, get ready, do whatever for your bikini waxing. Now, I have some notes that I've written down from reading random comments in these video postings, going online, searching usual questions, etc., about getting a bikini waxed. So if there's anything I've missed, please comment down below so you can get at least some good information. Because some of the stuff I've been seeing is just so sweet, baby Buddha. But first, you need to find a waxer. I recommend going to an actual waxing studio or a place that specializes in just waxing. Do not go to a nail salon and go into that dungeon of a back room where they do waxing. They are actually technically not certified to do waxing. I'm going to say it's probably going to be a lot worse and a lot more painful. So I'm recommending finding a nearby wax studio or a place that specializes in just waxing. Okay? Okay. The waxing at the nail salons, no shade to the nail salons, they're typically not clean and they use the same wax stick. At a wax studio, they will use a one stick dip thing and then throw it away. At nail studios, they will use the same stick every single time on every single person. Congratulations! You have decided to get your first bikini wax. I stress this with all the passion in my body. No shaving! Do not shave! No shaving! Stop shaving now, immediately. I recommend stop shaving at least 2 weeks before you get your bikini wax. Why do people shave? I don't know. You get burns, you get the stubble, you get the ingrowns. It's just, you shave, I haunt you and your family for months. Why am I doing this accent? I don't know. Before you go in, try to make sure your hair is at least the length of a grain of rice. Not too short, because then the wax can't pick anything up. The night prior, you still have not chickened out of getting your first bikini wax. Congrats, I'm very proud. What I want you to do is exfoliate the area as best as you can. And I do not mean a loofah. I mean a loofah, if that's all you have, and that's all you're willing to buy, then I guess that's something. Try getting a body exfoliant. I will have some in the description down below of some that I recommend personally. And I recommend using a scrub that does not contain coconut oil, because coconut oil tends to clog the pores. I will use body washes and stuff like that do contain coconut oil. Other places on my body, when it comes down to my trying not to get marked by YouTube, so I will not use coconut oil on my taco. Yeah, basically the exfoliating just helps with get rid of any dead skin, so when it's lifting the hair, it's not also getting rid of dead skin, which just causes double the pain. We don't want that. You think I enjoy causing people pain? I mean, I do get paid for it, but I don't actually like causing people pain. day of the waxing. Congrats. It's the day. You have made it this far. You have kept to it. You have not shaven, because you better have not. You've exfoliated. Now what? So say your wax is in the morning, you should be fine. If it's in the afternoon and you've gone around and done some things throughout the day, I recommend at least doing a little rinsey before your appointment. Slight cleanup before your appointment. It just, it's nice. Now for like the people that are like, that like to use the numbing cream. Should I use ibuprofen for my appointment? What should I do? So, in my professional opinion, the numbing cream doesn't work. But if you think it does, then go right ahead. I can't control you. Ibuprofen, I personally also don't believe it works, but I do have a few guests that I do wax that use it, and I guess it works for them. So for this part, your discretion kind of thing. Also, I recommend showing up to your appointment at least 15 to 10 minutes before your actual appointment, because if you're a first-time waxee, you might have to fill out some paperwork. It might take some time, and so you might just want to go in a little earlier. I'm not gonna lie, when I get new people, may it be for just a facial or for waxing, and they're already running late, and then they get there and they're like, I'm sorry I'm late, and then they ask to use the bathroom, it irritates me. It irritates everyone. Have an appointment at this time. You don't show up late and then be like, I want to use the bathroom. We are on a time crunch here, buddy. You're about to be taken back for your waxing. Congrats, you still have not lost it. I am very, very proud of you. After the waxer calls your name and takes you back into their studio, room, whatever that they're working in, they'll lock the door, and then they will ask you to get undressed from the waist down and will tell you how to lay whichever way they need you to so they can wax. Now, there are some places by state or just by area where it's required, where the waxer has to stay in the room. Legally, they have to stay in the room as you get undressed. There are some places where, if you don't feel comfortable, where they will leave the room as you get undressed and then come in when you're all settled. Though I don't understand those people that ask to the waxer to leave the room, because I'm about to be all up in your business anyway. So, I'm still gonna see it. So I don't know what. Now, the waxer will typically ask you how much hair you would like to leave. When it comes to the bikini or Brazilian, the Brazilian is as much or as little hair as you would like, including the back. And if you're just doing a bikini, typically it's once again as much as or little as you want, just involving the front and not the back. The waxer will ask you if you want certain shapes. Most people do the triangle. Some people do a little landing strip. But I'm sure you can ask for whatever you want. You can do a heart, a hexagon, a dragon. Now, before I go any further, these are some side questions, side comments I have read, looked at for this video that people have asked in forums, asking about everything about the waxing. There are some plus size women out there that think they are too big to be waxed. Now, let me tell you, and this is too bright. Thank you. No, you are never too big to be waxed. I have waxed extremely large people and extremely small people. I have waxed everyone. It's okay. I will admit, with the larger girls, you may have to hold your stomach up and taut for the waxer, just because you need to get a nice smooth surface and the skin has to be taut to do it correctly and pull so it doesn't hurt as much. So the waxer may ask you to hold your stomach up if it kind of goes overwards, and that's a-okay. We are not judging you. It's okay. Everyone does it. I even have a few guests who I wax, and they're not even plus size or overweight, but they still hold their stomach up, just maybe because it helps with the pain. Because the more taut you hold the skin, the easier it is. Will it hurt? Well, honey, I am ripping hair out of your body forcefully. So, I mean, it's not a walk in the fields, I will admit that. But, I mean, it depends person by person. Some people do not have a very high pain tolerance, and some do. But I will admit, the more you do it, and the more often you do it, the easier it gets. But your first time might be a little bit of a struggle bus. Just slightly. But that's okay. And if I were to put it on a scale, I mean, waxing, I would say maybe a 6 or a 7 out of 10, if I were to be honest. But it all, once again, all depends on your pain tolerance and the person. Lastly, I feel self-conscious of ... I am self-conscious of my smell. I am self-conscious how it looks. I am self-conscious of everything. Now, let me just say, do not be self-conscious. Because at this point, a taco looks like a taco. Alrighty? Once you've seen one, you've seen them all, basically. And I have done a few waxings in my esthetician career, and trust me, they no longer shock me, nor do I care. It's literally just a body part. So, there's that. And to be honest, they all look weird, okay? It's nothing to be afraid of. Now, if it starts smelling like a fish market, then we got a problem. But if it does not, and it's healthy and everything's fine, then you should be fine. And to be honest, by this point, your waxer has probably seen more than 100 and has done over 100 of these bikini waxes. So honestly, it's just now our job and they don't care. Alrighty, back to where we are actually in the middle of our waxing. So, you're on the table. Typically, your waxer will tell you how to hold your legs. Typically, they'll say get into butterfly position, where, imagine these are your legs, okay? So, your legs, you'll do this, okay? That. These are your knees. You'll bend your knees, and you'll hold your feet like this, as much as possible. So you'll get into butterfly position, and they will typically begin the waxing. Now, I cannot highly stress this enough. Do not forget to breathe. Please breathe. It helps relax the muscles, okay? With my guests, when I do waxing, I recommend the breathing technique. Typically, when I put on a strip of wax and I'm about to pull, I will tell them to breathe in, and as I'm pulling, I tell them to breathe out. And it's make sure that they relax, because when you hold your breath, you are tensing your muscles. You're tensing your muscles around that hair follicle. So when we pull and you're still tense, it will actually cause you more pain because you're clenching onto that hair follicle so tightly. When I tell the person to breathe, they, for a quick second, relax their muscles, and it comes out a lot easier. But ask your waxer if they are willing to do the breathing technique. You're paying them. I think you should be able to ask. Alrighty. The waxing has just been completed. You are now done with the wax. Your waxer has told you are all good to go. Now, let me just highly stress this, since it's your first time being waxed. And for some of you that have been shaving, not all of the hair will come up. Sometimes it takes a few times for the hair to actually all come up, or there's different hair growth patterns. It is perfectly normal for a little bit, just a little bit of hair to be left over here and there. Because after a while, if we go over the skin way too much, you start to lift. And lifting the skin basically means I am peeling your skin, which could lead to bruising. We don't like that, and we don't want that. Pinpoint bleeding is also perfectly normal. That means the waxer got the root out. When you get to root out, it means it will take a lot longer for that hair to grow back. And the next time you wax, since the hair growth has not fully been formed again, since you've been keeping up on it, it will actually be a lot less painful. Also a warning, after your waxing, you will be slightly sore. It's perfectly normal. You will be sore for maybe a day or two. Do not go in the ocean. I've had a couple of guests who went immediately to the beach after their waxing. You are literally putting salt on a wound. Don't do that. Don't go to the beach. I'd recommend don't work out. Don't do any exertion or of any kind of type. Don't do the boom boom. Don't do anything. Go home. Change into some cotton underwear or pants, something breathable, something light, and relax. You're going to be a little sore and tender for a couple of days or two, especially after your first time. Please don't go in the ocean. Upkeep. Now you have done your bikini waxing. Again, I am extremely proud of you. So, what to do and how to upkeep the bikini? As I said this in the very beginning. No shaving! Do not shave! Once again, I will haunt you and your family and your dog if you shave. No shaving. If you shave in between your appointments, you are basically ruining all the work and you're back to square one when you go back to wax. Do not shave at all. And we can tell when you're lying and you have shaved. Just... You will also need to start exfoliating more often, okay? Typically, when you're going to a wax studio, they should have their own products that they use or recommend for exfoliating. Once again, I will have some items in the description down below of things that you could use or even things that I use. Because I can't wax myself, so I go to a waxing studio and I actually use their products. And I actually use it. I use their body wash and their exfoliant, and it smells like Hawaii. And so I like using it. It's like paradise something. But I'll also link that down below. But I personally, when I get waxed, I use their stuff because it actually seems to work. You will have to exfoliate, I recommend at least 2 to 3 times a week. I recommend only twice a week during the winter time, especially if you live in a dry area like I do in Colorado, where all moisture comes to die, it seems like. So during the colder months, I only exfoliate twice a week. Now, during the summer or warmer times, or if you have a tendency to sweat a lot, or even have curly hair, I recommend at least 3 times a week. Other questions I've also heard, like how long will the waxing last? How do I avoid getting ingrowns? And etc., etc. How long the waxing depends on your body and your hair growth. So at first, it might come back a little bit sooner because your body's not used to it. But as you've been keeping up on it, it will get better and will last longer. 2 to 4 weeks depending on your hair growth. I am now at 5 weeks because I've been doing it for so long. And I even have some guests, I don't see them except for like every 3 months because they've been doing it for literally years. And it just takes forever to grow back. I can't wait to get to that point in my life. So honestly, it all depends. But typically I say between 2 to 4 weeks. Now, how to not get ingrowns is once again, remember to exfoliate. Try to wear loose clothing as often as possible and keep up with your waxing. And some people are just ingrown prone, so you can also ask your waxer in person on how to help. They will typically have some products that they have or they use personally to help. You have made it this far. Congratulations. You are now ready for your first bikini wax. I hope it goes well for you. I hope it's not as terrible. And hopefully this video at least helped calm some nerves. Hopefully. If you have any other questions, concerns, feel free to comment down below and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. Now remember, make good choices and follow your dreams. And I'll see you guys next time.